Hello YouTube, welcome to the Riding with Rick channel. I'm Rick, your host, and today I'm going to make a video about route planning using Rever. Before getting started on this video, let me address a couple questions that always come up. The first question is, why do I use Rever? Well, I've used many other route planning utilities in the past and still do from time to time. Curvature, Harley-Davidson Ride Planner, Honda Ride Planner. There's many out there, but I've found that Rever is best suited for the new Honda Goldwing GPS when route planning. They've partnered with Rever some time ago, and the more I use Rever, the more I like it, and the more it suits my needs. Now, that's why I use Rever, and I will just say this, is that Rever is a pay-to-use subscription, but the amount of route planning that I do and the type of riding I do, I find that it warrants its subscription, and the headache that other route planning utilities can cause during the ride, I always fall back on Rever. The next question I always get is, why even route plan? A lot of motorcyclists will just use Waze or Google Maps, and that's their solution from getting from point A to point B. I personally enjoy the route planning aspect of riding. It allows me to be in more control of where I'm going and how I'm getting there, and it allows me to familiarize myself with the area that I'm going. You know, just getting on a motorcycle and riding from point A to point B, you may encounter roads that you don't want to be on. Now that this time of year in the fall in the Philadelphia area, the days are short. We've been under rain for the last week, and there's leaves on the road. So it allows me to very carefully plan out a route and execute it on that given day. And for me, it's just more enjoyable to see something that I plan out on a map and translate it into real life. It's a much more enjoyable experience for me. Well, here we're looking at my computer screen here. This is Google Maps that I have up just to get a rough idea of the ride that I'm intending to take. I want to give a little shout out to Moto Mengi and the Moto Mengi channel. He did a video on Pennsylvania Route 339. And that's the theme of this ride. I'm hoping to take this weekend if the weather cooperates. There's a little stretch of road. It's about 30 miles that starts just south of Mifflinville into Mahoney City. And if I zoom out a little bit, the reason why I want to take this ride is because I can reach it from where I live. I live in this area right here on the map, so getting to this point to ride this road is manageable. So how am I going to do that? Well, first off, I want to take a look at this weekend's weather. It's been raining here for a solid week in the Philadelphia region, and the weekend is going to be, Saturday is going to be sunny but very cold, and Sunday maybe 10 degrees warmer, but rain is moving in late in the afternoon. So if I had to pick my day, it would be Saturday, but I have to kind of plan around that. The days are short. I really don't want to be riding at night with leaves on the ground. I don't want to freeze myself coming home or getting there. So I'm taking that all into consideration. I want to get to a starting point of this road. I'll probably ride it from the northern end of 339 to the southern end into Mahoney City, and then work my way back home. So just to get to the beginning of this road, that's my first challenge. So I'm going to put a starting point here at 339 just by clicking on the road where I want to pick it up and see if that's manageable. About an hour and 47 minutes. I'm not so tied to actually taking back roads to this location just because it will take a lot of time. And I'm not, I'm more privy to actually take maybe highway to get to this point, because there's a lot going on in my life personally, and it will give me time to get out on the open highway and allow my thoughts to evolve to hopefully find a solution to the issues that I'm going through. So this route here actually may be a more realistic route. Coming home, I will take a different route. Definitely manageable, 96 miles to the start of that location. I'm going to transpose this into Rever, and we'll take it from there. So this is a go for sure. All right, I've switched over to Rever, and I've done a little pre-plugging of a start point and end point. And my start point, I've actually got plugged into the town that I live very close to. Instead of divulging my home address on the internet for everybody to see, I've just plugged it in as Boyertown, Pennsylvania. I live very close to there. And then my end point is Mainville, Pennsylvania, which just happens to be the northern end of Route 339 that I intend to take. Now, this route that Rever has mapped out for me is obviously not the way I want to go. I could, but I've done that many a times, and as I pointed out, I want to take mainly highway to get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple waypoints down on this route, and I'm going to bend it to the highway to get there. And then what I'll do is I'll take this endpoint and then stretch it along the route I want to go on the way back home. There's two options that I have. I could actually build a route to get there and then build another route to get back home, but I'm going to put this all in one route. All right, generally speaking, I've got the route is bent now to more suit how I actually want to get to the start of Route 339. I will have to go back in and fine tune this route up to, this is Route I-80, to ensure that I get on I-476 in order to get to I-80. Now, what I'm going to do to get back home is I put a couple very key waypoints on the route already. The first waypoint, other than this waypoint to bend the route, which I'll go back and clean up, is a waypoint to get me on I-80. And the reason why I do that, and I always put down a waypoint just after I get off a route, either after a turn or where a turn is needed, or I want to ensure that I get on I-80 no matter what. So if I get detoured or something like that, I can delete any waypoint while I'm riding and cue this waypoint up, and the GPS will take me there 100% of the time. The end of the I-80 run, and that's the very beginning of Route 339. Again, it allows me to drag this waypoint down Route 339 to complete my round trip route without moving the route to a shorter way or what have you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. If you find in Rever that you're, or any route planner for that matter, if you're dragging or pulling the route along, that is taking the end point and dragging it back to where you want to start or where you want to go, if it's redrawing the line for you, it may warrant you to put down a waypoint, as I did here, number 4, to ensure that I always go there. If I didn't have that there, it would take me here. I actually delete that waypoint number 4 and see how it changed the route. It wants to take me a different way. In fact, it does something that I don't want it to do at all. Take me to Route 0.3 and double me back on I-80 to come down here. So I want to actually that waypoint number 4 in place. And now it's actually got me back on a road that I really know, and I can actually bring it down. I'm going to put a waypoint right here, and I'm going to continue mapping it all the way back home. As I continue to build the route and form it the way that I want it, I ensure that each waypoint that I put down is properly positioned on a road and not off the road. And I go back and clean up any unwanted waypoints that I used during the route building process. Okay, so I've got this all planned out now. You know, when you're route planning, it can morph into something that maybe you didn't really intend, but this looks like a good day's ride, and I'm happy with how I have the waypoints laid out. It's going to take about 5 hours, and it's around 200 miles, so that's a good ride for me. Oh, I'll give you another little tip here, is that Rever has a little feature now that's called Twisty Roads. You can actually turn this on. You can see how it morphed my route completely. Of course, it added another 2 hours, but it will seek out every little twisty road there possibly is. You know, some people say, how do you find the twisties? Well, Rever makes it kind of easy. However, I will say this, is that when you turn on the Twisty Roads feature, you really must go and examine where it's actually routing you. And just like I did in the other route, I'm going to turn the Twisty Road feature off. Just like I did in this route, you have to go down and put down waypoints so you are ensured that your GPS is going to guide you along the route that you're intending. You might ask, like, how do you get this ride from here to a GPX file that you can load to the Goldwing? In Rever, it's very simple to do. Here's the route. This is a listing of all my routes. Here's Route 339 that I just named it. It's a total time 4 hours 17 minutes, about 197 miles. I can just click the download GPX file. Now there's a lot of different formats that it will do, but I mentioned before that Rever is partnered with Honda, and for the new Honda Goldwing, it's labeled Honda 2019 plus 99 waypoints. Well, it really should read Honda 2018 plus or new Goldwing or something to that effect. But this is the option that I want here, and then I can just save it to whatever file name wherever I want. I actually have a download location for all my routes. That is it. That concludes today's route planning tutorial video. I hope you found it informative. And as always, if you like what you see, please click the like button. And if you leave a comment, I'll comment on your comment. And please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.